This video is about the alpha loved her voice but she was cursed to die young. If this story captivates you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. In the heart of the Elder Grove forest, whispers of ancient magic floated through the air like the mist that blanketed the ground each dawn. The silver moon cast its ethereal glow, illuminating a world where werewolves roamed, ruled by their primal instincts and fierce loyalties. Within this world, an alpha stood tall, known for his unmatched strength and a heart burdened by an unfulfilled longing. Eden, alpha of the Silver Moon Pack, leaned against the gnarled trunk of an ancient oak, his piercing blue eyes scanning the shadows for any signs of danger. But his mind was elsewhere, lingering on a voice that had woven itself into his very being. Alara, a name that danced like a melody on his lips and echoed in the depths of his soul. Alara, a mirror maker, with hair like spun gold and eyes that sparkled like the stars above, was different from anyone he had known. She was the pack-ass songstress, her voice a haunting lullaby that brought peace to every heart. But fate was a cruel mistress, and a dark curse loomed over her, a fate that promised to sever their bond. Eden, a deep voice interrupted his thoughts, pulling him from his reverie. It was Marcus, his beta and closest friend, who could sense the turmoil swirling within him. "You've been restless. Is it Alara again?" Eden sighed, the weight of his destiny pressing heavily upon him. "How can I not think of her? Marcus, her voice haunts me. Yet the prophecy, it hangs over us like a storm cloud." Marcus stepped closer, his brow furrowed in concern. "You are the alpha, you have a duty to your pack, and she is merely an omega. This bond you feel is more than just a bond." Eden interrupted, clenching his fists. "She is my mate. Can't he just ignore the pull between us because of her station or her curse?" "But if she dies, Eden," Marcus murmured, his voice low, "what good is a mate who will perish before her time? You'll be left broken." Eden turned away, his heart aching. "I can't let her go. I want tea." The moonlight bathed them in silver as Eden's thoughts spiraled into a dark abyss. Alara's laughter, bright and carefree, echoed in his mind, a stark contrast to his impending despair. She was a vibrant spirit in a world filled with shadows, yet every tale he heard about her curse whispered of doom and heartache. The following evening, the pack gathered for the full moon ceremony. The air buzzed with excitement, the scent of pine mingling with the anticipation of a night filled with wild revelry. Eden took his place at the head of the gathering, his heart pounding as he scanned the crowd for her. And then, like a beacon of light, Alara emerged from the throng. She wore a flowing gown of midnight blue, her hair cascading down her shoulders, accentuating the delicate curve of her neck. The moment their eyes met, the world around them faded, leaving only the rhythm of their heartbeats echoing in the silence. "Alpha," she greeted, her voice soft yet potent, like a soothing balm over his jagged edges. "You look troubled." Eden swallowed hard, the intensity of his feelings nearly overwhelming him. "I am. It is hard to celebrate when I know what lies ahead for you." Alara reached out, her fingers brushing against his hand, igniting a spark that coursed through him. "You can't let fear overshadow the joy of this moment, Eden. We have tonight, and I want to sing for you." He nodded, knowing that every note she sang could be a treasured memory or a painful reminder of their uncertain fate. As she stepped forward and the first notes flowed from her lips, the forest seemed to come alive. The wolves howled in harmony, and the moon bore witness to the magic between them. But as Alara's voice soared, her eyes reflected a deep sorrow. She was aware of the whispers, the tales of her curse. For generations, it was said that those blessed with the gift of song were fated to be silenced too soon. "Please," Eden pleaded, his voice barely above a whisper. "You have to promise me you'll be careful. I can't bear the thought of losing you." Alara's gaze held his, fierce and unwavering. "I refuse to live in fear, Eden. I want to live every moment fully, and if that means facing the curse, then so be it." Her determination ignited something within him, a flicker of hope amidst the darkness. "You are stronger than you know, Alara, but promise you'll let me protect you." She smiled softly, tears glistening in her eyes. "Being with you is protection enough. I trust you with my heart." As the night wore on, the lovers danced under the moonlight, each step a declaration of their defiance against fate. Eden felt something shift within him, a raw energy that pulsed through his veins. He wanted to shield her from every storm, every whisper of darkness. But in the shadows, danger lurked. The rival pack, the Ironclaws, had been watching, waiting for a moment of weakness to strike. Their alpha, a ruthless wolf named Calder, had his sights set on Alara, believing her gift could amplify his power. When the gathering ended, Eden and Alara stole away from the bonfire, the glow of the embers illuminating the path ahead. They wandered deeper into the woods, their laughter mingling with the rustling leaves, feeling as if the world belonged to just the two of them. I always imagined a life filled with adventure, Alara mused, her breath catching as she turned to Aiden. But I never expected to find love, not like this. Neither did I, Aiden confessed, his voice thick with emotion. But you've changed everything for me. You've given me a reason to fight. Just then, a chilling howl echoed through the trees, sending a shiver down Aiden's spine. He instinctively pulled Alara close, his instincts roaring to life. We need to go back, now. As they turned to leave, a figure emerged from the shadows. Calder stepped forward, a wicked grin spreading across his face. Alpha Aiden, how noble of you to protect your little songbird, but what if I told you she has a greater destiny with us? Stay away from her, Calder, Aiden growled, his wolf emerging, ready to defend his mate. You have no power here. Calder laughed, a sound devoid of warmth. But I have something you don't see a chance to save her from that curse. Join me, and I'll show you the way. Alara stepped forward, her voice trembling but resolute. I'll never join you. My fate belongs to my pack. Calder's eyes darkened, and he lunged forward, his intention clear. In a flash, Aiden stepped in front of Alara, teeth bared, fury igniting his soul. If you want her, you'll have to go through me. The tension crackled in the air as the two alphas faced off, the weight of destiny hanging between them. In that moment, Alara realized the depth of their bond, a tether forged in love and sacrifice, one that could defy even the darkest of curses. But as the battle loomed, a whisper of doubt echoed in her heart. Would their love be strong enough to withstand the trials that awaited them? The curse, the rival pack, the choices they would have to make, would they threaten to tear them apart? Together, Aiden murmured, his eyes locked onto hers, full of promise. We will face whatever comes. Together, they stood at the precipice of fate, love igniting within them a flame that would guide them through the darkness. The night was filled with uncertainty, but in the strength of their bond, there lay an unwavering hope. Little did they know, destiny had its own plans, a path that would test their love in ways they could never have imagined. The curse loomed like a shadow, but for the moment, they were united, heart to heart, soul to soul, ready to defy the path that fate had laid before them. As the moon hung high, casting its silver glow upon the forest, the tension in the air seemed to thicken and pulse like a heartbeat. Aiden's growl echoed through the stillness, reverberating with the energy of their impending battle. Alara felt her breath hitch as she stood beside him, heart racing against the pull of uncertainty. Calder Aiden spat, his voice low and menacing. You don't know what you're asking for. His body bristled with raw power, the wolf within him clawing for release, ready to defend his mate with everything he had. Calder took a step forward, dismissing Aiden's threat with a wave of his hand. Though I know exactly what I am asking for, the power that can be unlocked within your precious Alara could elevate us far beyond mere pack strength. She could be the key to our dominance. Alara's heart sank at Calder's words, a chill crawling down her spine. You were wrong, she replied, her voice firm despite her trembling hands. I will never be a tool for your ambition. My life is not a game to be played. The rival Alpha's laugh was derisive, echoing in the still night. And yet, your curse makes you invaluable. Do you really think you can escape your fate? What if I told you I could break it? His gaze flicked between them, his predatory instincts savoring their vulnerability. Aiden's fists clenched at his sides, an overwhelming protectiveness surging through him. You'd use her as bait, Calder. That is all you can see a means to an end, but she is my mate and no one shall take her from me. And yet here we are, Calder retorted, his eyes flashing with the thrill of the hunt. You have a choice, Aiden. Join me and save her, or fight and watch her wither away, cursed to leave this world far too soon. Alara stepped closer to Aiden, her heart throbbing painfully in her chest. You and T win by sowing doubt between us, Calder. We are stronger together, and we will not let you manipulate us. Aiden turned to Alara, his gaze softening, the raw intensity of their connection palpable. No matter what happens tonight, know this: you are my everything. I will find a way to protect you. Then let us prove it, Alara whispered, fire igniting behind her eyes. Let us show him the power of our bond. The air crackled with tension as both alphas squared off, the forest around them holding its breath. Aiden felt Alara's presence beside him, a beacon of light in the encroaching darkness. With a fierce growl, he lunged forward, a blur of motion and power, driving into Calder with a force that sent them crashing to the forest floor. Alara felt panic surge within her as she watched them grapple. Aiden, be careful, she shouted, fear clutching her heart. The fight was brutal, each wolf relying on instinct and raw strength, but the stakes ran deeper than mere dominance. They were fighting for love, for life, for destiny. Calder twisted beneath Aiden, managing to throw him off balance, his wicked grin still plastered across his face. You think you can protect her. You are just a wolf like the rest of us, driven by your instincts. Love does not shield you from fate, Alpha. In a flurry of movements, Aiden lunged again, this time catching Calder by surprise. Love makes us stronger, he roared, a primal cry that resonated through the trees. And I will not let you take her from me. The two fought fiercely, their struggles echoing through the elder grove, but Alara could feel the shifting tides of battle and knew they needed a different approach. Rushing forward, she placed herself between the two combatants, her voice steady but urgent. Aiden, stop. Calder, enough. This isn't what we need. Both alphas froze, surprise momentarily halting their battle. Aiden's eyes softened as he looked at Alara, and she could see the turmoil within him. Alara, get back. You can protect me. But she shook her head fiercely. And you can protect me by fighting. We can let anger guide us. There must be another way to break this curse. Calder, momentarily taken aback, began to reconsider. Perhaps, he mused, a calculating glint in his eye. There is a way to turn this to my advantage. What if I can help you, Alara? I have resources, dark magic that could sever the ties of your curse. Dark magic? Aiden spat, his voice laced with disdain. You think I'd let you near her with that? Alara's heart raced, torn between fear and the glimmer of hope. If it could save me, she whispered, her voice trailing off as she contemplated the weight of her fate. Enough! Aiden shouted, stepping toward her protectively. You don't understand what that kind of magic can do. It could cost you everything, even your spirit. Then what is the alternative? She replied, desperation creeping into her tone. To live in the shadow of this curse, to watch time slip through my fingers. I want to fight for my life, Aiden, with you, not against you. Calder smirked, sensing a crack in their unity. It is a tempting offer, isn't it? The power to change destiny. All you need to do is trust me. I don't trust you, Alara snapped, the fire in her gut igniting once more. But I need to know all my options. If there is a chance to break this curse, I can simply ignore it. Aiden's heart twisted painfully in his chest. I can stand the thought of losing you to that darkness, Alara. We rebound by something real, something true. I know, she replied, her voice a gentle caress, but if I can be freed from this curse, we can truly be together without fear. Please, Aiden. As the weight of her words sank in, Aiden felt the world shift around him. He had always believed love could conquer all, that their bond was stronger than anything fate could throw their way. But now, doubt crept in, the darkness of Calder's proposition gnawing at his resolve. Calder interjected, sensing the shift. Very well then, I'll give you a chance, but understand this dark magic comes at a price. You must be willing to pay it. I'll do whatever it takes, Alara declared, her eyes fierce with determination. She turned to Aiden, her heart laid bare. I won't let this curse dictate my life any longer. Aiden's heart raced, torn between the love that fueled him and the fear of what that path might lead to. Alara, please, he whispered, desperation lacing his voice. Don't gamble with your soul. I have to try, she replied, tears pooling in her eyes. For us. The air was thick with tension as Calder smirked, sensing victory. Then let us make a deal. Meet me at the edge of the forest during the next moonrise. I'll reveal the way to break your curse, Alara, but know this, the price will demand a choice. Aiden stepped forward, ready to fight again, but Alara placed a hand on his arm, grounding him. I'll do it, she insisted, her voice steady. I need you to trust me, Aiden. His heart ached as he looked into her eyes, his soul entwined with hers. I want to trust you, but I fear what it will cost. Calder chuckled darkly, retreating into the shadows. You have until then to decide. Alpha and Omega, choose wisely. As Calder vanished into the depths of the forest, Aiden felt the weight of despair settle on his shoulders. Alara, I don't want to lose you, he murmured, his voice barely above a whisper. You want she replied, leaning into him, seeking solace in their connection. We will find our way together. Aiden wrapped his arms around her, holding her close as they stood amid the whispering trees. The night was heavy with uncertainty, but their bond pulsed with love, igniting the hope that perhaps, just perhaps, they could defy fate together. As they gazed into each other's eyes, they knew the battle ahead would test their hearts, and destiny's true cost would soon reveal itself. But they also knew that love, fierce and unyielding, would guide them through the shadows of uncertainty, sparking the strength they needed to face whatever lay ahead. In the heart of the Elder Grove, where ancient magic intertwined with the fabric of their souls, they stood united, ready to confront their deepest fears and fight for the love that was destined to change everything. The moon hung heavily above the Elder Grove forest, casting a silvery glow upon the trees. Aiden's heart raced as he held Lara close, fear coiling tightly within him. The shadow of Calder's threats lingered like a storm cloud overhead, darkening every thought he had. "Are you sure about this?" he asked, his voice trembling with concern. "This isn't just a gamble. It is your life at stake, Alara." Alara looked up at him, her golden hair illuminated by the moonlight, her eyes reflecting a mixture of resolve and vulnerability. "Aiden, I can see you live with this curse hanging over me. It steals every moment, every joy. If there is even a sliver of hope to break it, I have to try." He brushed a thumb across her cheek, feeling the warmth of her skin beneath his touch. "But what if Calder has ulterior motives? What if this dark magic is the only way?" she interjected softly but firmly. "I understand your fear, but I am not afraid of facing it. How can I truly live if I am shackled by this curse?" Aiden's heart ached at her words, the weight of her struggle pressing down on him. "It is just. I can bear the thought of losing you, Alara. You are the light in my life, the melody that makes everything bearable." Tears brimmed in her eyes, and she took a step closer, closing the distance between them. "Then trust me, Aiden. Trust that I will choose us, no matter the cost." He felt the intensity of her gaze, a burning flame that ignited something deep within. "I would do anything to keep you safe," he murmured, his voice thick, "but I can be the reason you take this risk." Alara's expression softened, and she clenched his hands tightly, grounding him in their shared moment. "You are not the reason, Aiden. This is about me taking control of my destiny. I will not be a passive player in my own life." As they stood in the moonlit clearing, the silence thickened around them. Aiden felt the primal urge to protect her, to shield her from every danger that threatened her. But deep inside, he knew that love sometimes meant letting go, even when it felt as if their very souls were tied together. "I'll go with you to Calder," he finally said, his heart racing with a mix of fear and determination. "I want to leave your side." A smile broke across her face, illuminating the shadows that had begun to encroach upon their lives. "Thank you, Aiden. Together, we will face whatever comes." As they turned to leave, a rustle in the bushes caught their attention. Aiden instinctively shifted into a protective stance, but the figure emerging was Marcus, his beta, who approached with a frown etched on his face. "Aiden, Alara," he called, lacing his voice. "I've been looking for you." "What is it?" Aiden asked, concern knitting his brow. "It is Calder," Marcus said, urgency ringing in his tone. "He is gathering his pack. They are replanning an ambush. We need to prepare." Alara's heart dropped. "An ambush? But why?" Marcus sighed, running a hand through his dark hair. "He knows you're vulnerable. If he can sow fear in our ranks, he will have the upper hand. We must get back to the pack and warn them." Aiden felt anger boiling within him, fueled by a surge of protectiveness. "I want to let him intimidate us, Alara, and I have a plan, Marcus. We want to back down." "Don't be reckless, Aiden," Marcus cautioned, his eyes serious. "Calder is dangerous, and he seeks to exploit your bond. If he senses even the slightest crack in your resolve, he will attack with full force." Alara glanced at Aiden, the tension in the air almost palpable. "We need to stand united. I can allow fear to dictate our actions. I am willing to face whatever he throws at us." Aiden nodded, determination surging through him. "We'll confront him, together." As they made their way back to the packed territory, Aiden felt the weight of the world pressing down on him. The shadows of doubt loomed large, threatening to consume them all. He could sense the wolves gathering, their energy palpable, yet the fear of an impending conflict hung over them like a dark veil. Once they reached the clearing, the members of the Silvermoon Pack were gathered in a tight circle, their expressions a mix of concern and resolve. Aiden stepped forward, hands raised for silence. "Listen to me," he called, commanding their attention. "Calder intends to strike to weaken us from within, but we are stronger than he realizes. We are a family, bound by loyalty and love." Murmurs rippled through the pack, uncertainty flickering in their eyes. Aiden could see their fear, their apprehension. "Fear can break us," he continued, his voice steady, "but it can also make us fight harder. We need to stand together, united against whatever he throws our way." Alara stepped beside him, her presence bolstering his words. "He seeks to exploit our weaknesses, to turn us against each other. We cannot allow that to happen. Our bond is powerful, and we must use it to face this threat." A surge of energy flowed through the pack as Aiden felt their resolve solidify. He glanced at Alara, who was shining with an inner light, her courage sparking a flame within him. "We will not let Calder's darkness overshadow us," he vowed, his voice rising with passion. "We will fight for our home, our love, and our future." The pack held in agreement, a chorus of strength echoing through the trees. Aiden's heart swelled with pride as he looked into their eyes, faces illuminated by the flickering firelight. They were family, and they would protect what was theirs. Remember, he added, glancing at Alara, we are not just fighting for ourselves, we fight for each other. We fight for the love that binds us, the bonds that cannot be broken. As the night wore on, Aiden strategized with Marcus and the other warriors, their plans solidifying like the roots of an ancient tree. Alara moved among the pack, her voice soothing, igniting hope and determination in their hearts. Aiden watched her, mesmerized by her strength, her ability to unify them all. But deep within him, worry stirred. The weight of the curse loomed larger than ever, and he couldn't shake the feeling that Calder was planning something far more sinister than an ambush. Days passed, tension thickening the air like a tangible force. Aiden and Alara trained together, their bodies moving in perfect harmony, yet the darkness of uncertainty loomed ever closer. Do you really think we can face him? Alara asked one evening, her voice barely above a whisper. They stood beneath the stars, the moon casting a silvery light across the clearing. Together, yes, Aiden replied, determination surging through him. We are stronger as one, and I will not let anything come between us. Alara bit her lip, her gaze drifting to the ground. But what if he tries to separate us? He knows how to exploit our fears, Aiden. He cupped her face in his hands, forcing her to meet his gaze. Then we fight, Alara. We fight for our love, for our bond. I refuse to let him take you from me. Tears shimmered in her eyes, but her lips curled into a soft smile. Your faith in us is a gift, Aiden. I will hold on to it with everything I have. As the night deepened, they embraced, the warmth of their bodies intertwining with the magic of the forest. The world faded away, leaving only the two of them wrapped in a cocoon of love and hope. But as they pulled apart, a distant howl shattered the quiet, reverberating through the trees like an omen. Aiden's heart dropped, and Alara's eyes widened in fear. Calder, Aiden growled, his instinct surging to life as he prepared for the inevitable clash. We need to get back, now, Alara urged, urgency in her voice. Together, they raced back toward the pack, determination and fear propelling them forward. As they reached the clearing, they found the pack already gathered, tension crackling in the air. Calder is approaching, Marcus said, his voice steady but laced with concern. We need to be ready. Aiden stood tall, heart pounding in his chest. We will face him together. Remember, we are stronger united. Just then, a dark figure emerged from the shadows. Calder, flanked by his own pack, a sly grin plastered across his face. Ah, Silvermoon, he called, voice dripping with mockery. What a pity you've chosen to defy me. The air thickened with apprehension, but Aiden steeled himself, grounding his fear with the strength of his love for Alara. You alone never break us, Calder, he declared, baring his teeth. Foolish Alpha, Calder sneered, his gaze shifting to Alara. You have a choice to make, dear Songbird. Join me. Alara's heart raced as she stood on the edge of the Silvermoon clearing, the weight of Calder's gaze pressing down upon her like a storm cloud. The air was charged with tension. She could feel the crackling energy of the rival pack surrounding them. It was as if the very forest held its breath, waiting for the inevitable clash, a clash not just of strength, but of destiny. Calder's smirk deepened, his eyes glinting with the thrill of power. You are wasting your time, Aiden, he taunted. This is your chance to break free, Alara. Join me. Together, we can rewrite your fate. No more curse, no more shackles, just power. The offer hung in the air, heavy and intoxicating. Alara's heart felt like it was being pulled in two directions. Aiden, her beloved Alpha, stood fiercely beside her, radiating protective strength. But Calder's words stirred an unsettling whisper of temptation within her, the promise of freedom from the curse that haunted her every breath. No, Alara said, her voice ringing clear, though she felt the tremor in her heart. I will not join you, Calder. My life is not a bargaining chip for power. Aiden stepped forward, his muscles taut with tension. Alara, don't let him manipulate you. He thrives on fear and chaos, you know that. Calder's laughter cut through the tension, dark and cruel. Manipulate? Hardly. I am offering her a chance at true power, a destiny free from a curse that holds her back. Can you really give her what she needs, Aiden? Alara met Aiden's fierce gaze, the depths of their bond reflected their unbreakable tether forged through love and shared dreams. Aiden is my strength, she said, determination flooding her voice. Not power. Love is what I need. Calder cocked his head, feigning surprise. Love? Such a fragile thing. You think it can protect you from destiny? That it can save you when darkness closes in? We will face darkness together, Aiden replied, his voice low but filled with conviction. Alara is more than a song. She is my heart, my mate. Together, we are stronger than any curse. The forest seemed to echo Aiden's words, the trees swaying as if in agreement. Alara felt a surge of warmth course through her, igniting her spirit. Aiden's belief in their bond pushed back against the shadows, threatening to engulf them. "I will never choose power over love," she declared, her voice unwavering. "Not now, not ever." Calder's expression soured, annoyance flickering beneath the surface. "You are making a grave mistake, Alara. You may think you have strength, but you lack the will to seize your own destiny." He turned to his pack, gesturing toward Aiden, his voice booming. "This alpha is leading you toward destruction." Aiden growled, stepping protectively in front of Alara as his pack members growled low in their throats in response, a chorus of loyalty resonating around them. "You think you can intimidate us? You think sowing doubt will tear us apart? You are mistaken. Then let us see just how strong your bond really is," Calder sneered, his eyes glinting with malice. He gestured to his pack, and they surged forward, ready to clash with the Silverman wolves. With a deafening roar, Aiden lunged into battle, his wolf form shedding its human constraints as he embraced the primal instincts within. Alara's heart raced, fear gripping her as she watched him fight. The chaos erupted around them, a whirlwind of fur, teeth, and claws. "Stay back, Alara!" Aiden shouted amid the frenzy, his voice filled with urgency. "I can't lose you." "I want to," she cried, her heart pounding. She felt the urge to join the chaos, to fight alongside Aiden, but as she stood at the edge of the fray, the shadows of her curse loomed ominously in her mind. The last thing she wanted was to see Aiden vulnerable, in danger because of her. With her heart in turmoil, she spotted Marcus, Aiden's loyal beta, battling fiercely against Calder's pack. She sprinted toward him, determination coursing through her veins. "Marcus, we need to do something." "Protect Aiden first," Marcus shouted back, deflecting a blow from a rival wolf. "If he falls, we all fall." Alara's breath hitched as she watched Aiden grapple with Calder, their fierce struggle playing out like a dance of shadows and light. A primal instinct roared within her, urging her to leap into the fray to protect him. "Aiden," she cried, but her voice was swallowed by the chaos. "All right, enough." Aiden's voice broke through, filled with desperation as he caught a glimpse of her. "Get back." But as the battle raged on, Alara felt the weight of her curse stirring, the darkness whispering promises of power and acceptance. "I want to let it win," she murmured to herself, gripping her hands into fists. Just then, a flash of movement caught her eye. Calder had gained the upper hand, his teeth bared in a victorious snarl as he lunged toward Aiden. "Your love cannot save you," he shouted, and in that moment, time seemed to stretch. "Off." Alara screamed, her heart lurching as she saw Aiden stumble back, unable to counter Calder's strike. The full weight of her fear crashed down on her. She could not let this darkness claim him. In that instant, everything inside her shifted. She could no longer remain a passive observer, haunted by her curse. She grasped the essence of her song, the magic that flowed through her veins, and began to sing. The notes poured out, pure and clear, resonating with ancient power, echoing through the trees. The forest fell silent, the howling of battle subsiding as Calder's eyes widened in disbelief. Alara's voice, filled with the essence of love and defiance, wove a tapestry that enveloped the clearing. It reached Aiden, igniting a spark within him, a renewed vigor that surged through his muscles. The wolves paused, the sound of her melody breaking through the veil of anger and chaos. Alara sang of love, of light, and of the unyielding strength that bound their hearts. The energy of her song sparked a shift, and the Silverman wolves rallied, their spirits ignited by her voice. "Together!" Aiden roared, finding his footing once more as he charged toward Calder with renewed strength. Alara's song filled the air, wrapping around them like an unbreakable shield. With a fierce battle cry, Aiden clashed with Calder once more, the tides of battle turning as the Silverman pack surged forward, united in purpose. Alara's heart soared with hope, her voice intertwining with their collective spirit, amplifying their strength tenfold. But in the midst of the chaos, Calder's eyes narrowed, rage boiling beneath the surface. "You think this will save you, Songbird?" she howled, lunging toward Alara with a calculated strike. Aiden sensed the danger. He could feel Calder's intent like a palpable force. "Alara," he shouted, his heart racing as he fought to reach her. But she was one step ahead, the magic of her song shielding her from harm as she turned to face Calder. "I want to be afraid," she declared, her voice unwavering, and with one final note, she unleashed the full force of her power. A brilliant light erupted from her, enveloping the clearing in a protective glow that surged against the darkness. The collision of light and darkness sent waves through the clearing, and Calder's expression twisted with disbelief as the light consumed him. "No, this cannot be," he roared as the energy crackled around him, binding him in place. Eden reached Alara's side just as the energy enveloped them both. "You did it," he exclaimed, awe and admiration filling his voice as he witnessed her strength. "I couldn't hold it alone," she breathed, her voice trembling. "We did this together, Eden." As the light intensified, Calder's pack began to falter, confusion and fear rippling through them. One by one, they retreated, the darkness dissipating under the power of Alara's song. With one final surge, the light engulfed Calder, his image fading into the shadows as he unraveled before their eyes. "You may have won this time," he spat, but the threat in his voice was hollow, diminished in the face of their unity. As silence settled over the clearing, the Silverman wolves erupted in triumphant cheers, the bond forged in love and sacrifice echoing through the forest. Eden turned to Alara, their eyes locking, and in that moment everything fell away. "You were incredible," he whispered, his voice thick with emotion as he cupped her face in his hands. "You saved us." "But I couldn't have done it without you," she replied, tears shimmering in her eyes. "You believed in me when I doubted myself." "I will always believe in you," he vowed, pressing his forehead against hers, their breaths mingling in the aftermath of battle. "Together, we can face anything. You are my mate, my heart." Alara's heart soared at his words,